Hello there, Romans here and welcome to another music review, probably the last one this year. I review every album from a viewpoint of a musician, as I am a singer, songwriter and a bass player for my own group Jakobe, and in April we have released our debut album called Pursuits in Life. And what makes it unique is that it's a pretty heavy prog rock without guitars. Instead you have drums, bass, saxophone and keyboards. You can check out two of the singles from the album on my YouTube channel. We're Building Our Own Monument and a studio live take of A Way to Oppose. And in the description of the both videos you will find all the information about where is the record available. It's available on all digital platforms like Spotify, Tidal, Deezer, iTunes, Amazon, but also in this digipack version of a CD with a very beautifully illustrated 20 pages long booklet. And today I'm going to talk about the still new release from Dan Reed Network called Origins.
Music review.
Dan Reed Network is quite possibly my most favorite band of all time, and this comes from a person who has heard more than 3,000 records in his life. I listen to approximately 300 to 400 records per year, and the first 3 albums from Dan Reed Network are among the very best I've ever heard. I love this band. As you can see from this photo, I have quite a lot of stuff from them. I have all of their records on CDs, with the exception of the new one. I have 2 of their albums on LPs. I even have 1 solo record from Dan Reed. And one of my big dreams that came true was when I saw them live in 2014. This t-shirt is actually from that tour, and it was a gig in Prague. I have a photo with them, and I remember that a couple of months before that I was talking to a friend, and I was like, we attended some local gig, and I was like, wouldn't it be amazing to see Dan Reed Network live? And I was like, I guess that's one of the things I'll never get to experience, and I did. It was fantastic. I'm just so happy that they're back. They've released their 4th studio album, Fight Another Day, 2 years ago, and it was actually their new album in 25 years. So I was pretty excited for this new album, even though I wouldn't really call this new effort an album. This is more like a studio live project kind of thing. So before I dive into the record, let's explain the premise of this first. So this album, or this record, was recorded in 4 separate studios, and I remember that back in the day you could have actually bought tickets to attend those sessions. And in each of these 4 studios they recorded 2 songs. They recorded 1 brand new track and then an old classic from one of their first 3 albums. So that's why we have 4 new songs on this album and 4 sort of a reworked classics. Let's talk about the classics first. I think that one of the reasons why they did this in this way was that they sort of wanted to show not only their fans but probably everybody that this is like their new version, this is how they sound live, so their songs are updated sonically in a way. And from their debut album we have 2 tracks, Ritual and Forgot to Make Her Mine. Both of these tracks are really great. I love them. I quite honestly do prefer the original versions by a long shot, because they are slightly more funk rock, there's more of that bass and that groove, and these new versions are slightly more rock. One of the things that I kind of miss with Dan Reed's solo stuff and his even the latest album from Dan Reed Network was that he's a phenomenal singer. I really love his voice. He's sort of like John Bon Jovi but without a higher register. But he used to sing though, or he used to sort of scream in his past. He had those high-pitched, overdriven falsetto sounds, and I really loved those because they were just so juicy. It's not very technical, maybe not how I would sing those songs, but they definitely sounded fantastic. And I was always wondering, like, can he still do that? And on the Ritual, for example, or even Forgot to Make Her Mine, both of these tracks were to a certain degree based on those screams. And he used that in a Ritual. I think it sounded pretty well. Maybe he thinks that, okay, I'm too old to do that anymore. It's sort of like a youthful thing, but I don't think so.
But I forgot to make her mine. Oh, too late, she's gone, gone, gone. Too late.
tracks sound pretty good. I mean, if this is how they perform it live, it's great. From the second album, they have Rainbow Child, which is a really fantastic track, and I think that this version just proves how universal this track is. This doesn't matter if it was recorded in the 80s or now. If I'd never heard that song before and somebody told me that it was written and recorded in 2018, I would have no problems believing in it. It's a very beautifully made song. I still do prefer the original version, but this is very, very close one. The only reworked version I don't really like is the song Let It Go from their third album, Mix It Up. The original version is just one of my all-time favorite tracks. I really love that sort of a subtle drum beat at the beginning, piano that fades in, beautiful bass, and the song eventually builds up and then explodes towards the end. And this new version is slightly more based on acoustic guitars and guitars in general. Piano seems to be just like some sort of a background thing. And this version has no dynamics. It's kind of in the same level throughout the whole time. And when I was listening to this record for the first time and I sort of wasn't focusing on it, I thought that I was listening to the song Free Falling from Tom Petty. So, I'm always that kind of person, like, why fix something that works? And I think that song should have been performed in the way it was written, because it's really fantastic. When it comes to the new tracks, the first track, Fade to Light, is also made in the form of a music video, and in that video you can see how the whole record was conceived and created. They recorded it in one of those 4 studios, and you can see the audience around them. The audience appeared on the track as well, because there were some chords and some sort of a background vocals that they did. It's a very solid pop rock song with those typical Dan Reed Network chords, and in a very similar fashion is another track right in front of me. I really like those 80s keyboards, and both of these tracks are much more reminiscent of Dan Reed's solo stuff than of Dan Reed Network. They are very uplifting pop rock songs, and if you play them on, they will just make you feel happy and great, and this is what I always loved about Dan Reed Network. I do miss that juicy funk rockness, but these tracks are slightly more on the mainstream side, but they are very enjoyable nevertheless. I personally prefer the other 2 tracks, Shameless. I love those keyboard sounds. It seems like that really a perfect balance between those electronic key sounds and those 80s sounds. This is slightly more artistic track with a running time of approximately 6.5 minutes. It's a really, really fantastic track. And my most favorite one from the new songs is, I'm not sure how it's called, because on YouTube the music video is called One Last Time, but the song is titled Reach Out on the Spotify. This is slightly more serious song. Again, it's very artistic and slightly more on the rock side. is just phenomenal track, and it kind of leaves me hungry for more. I'm a bit sad that they didn't come up with a full-length studio album, because the new material is kind of just like an EP worth of material. But I mean, I'm just happy for the guys to keep doing the music. I really hope I will see them again live. I think that this record may serve as a pretty good starting point if you have never listened to the group. This is definitely an enjoyable record. I've heard it 8 times, and when it comes to those new tracks, I will probably listen to them more. When it comes to their reworked classics, I will probably prefer the original versions. And this record actually made me hungry to revisit their records. I'm planning also to do Denrid Network's worst to best video, but I will probably wait to have more subscribers so that more people would discover this band. So how do you like my review? Did you agree with me or you didn't? You can let me know in the comment section below. If you want, you can follow me on Facebook or on Instagram. You can find the links to both in the description of this video below. If you like this video, don't forget to like, to subscribe. You can check out my own original music, my live performances, my worst to best series, and quite a lot of other reviews that I have done. I've also made a review for Denrid's Confession record. You can find it on my YouTube channel, and thanks a lot for watching.